Folgers commercial that says the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup? Well, that person obviously hasn't been woken up at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday by 3 dogs who need to go outside or are hungry and then won't go back to sleep. So the best part of waking up was not coffee in this cup. Anyway, I will be doing something that I'm really excited about. I will be making 6 custom t-shirts. 2 of them are kind of horror related, kind of spooky. One is a Ghost Pokemon shirt that I designed myself, and the other one is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer shirt. It was a process. I will admit that getting the patterns to work was difficult. I will be going over kind of like the pros and cons of the materials that I used and kind of what I found to be the easiest way. I have not made any of these shirts off camera. I will be doing all of them in this video. I am hoping that at least some of them will turn out. It'd be awesome if all 6 turned out, but we shall see. So let's go back there. We'll make these t-shirts and then we'll come back on camera to show you what they look like. Okay? Okay. Okay, guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the materials that I used to do this project. I'm going to give you some tips on some things that I found while doing this project, just in case you want to do this project as well. The first thing that we're going to go over is transfer paper. This stuff is used to transfer the image to the fabric with heat. I chose to get dark fabric paper because this will work on dark and light fabrics. So it was more cost effective to buy just the dark instead of buying dark and light. Now this stuff is super thin. It is not like the vinyl that I was using in my other projects. So if you have fine details, it's probably not going to work because it rips super easy. Let me give you an example. I was going to do this image on one of my t-shirts. And as you can see, the balloons are held together with strings. And so when I put this in the Cricut, it obviously was going to remove everything that was white. So it was trying to cut through these strings to make them able to be transferred. But while it was cutting, it ripped pretty much all the strings. And then when I tried transferring it, I couldn't even get it off the board because they were so tiny. So for this one, I decided to do a background on the image so that it only would do the background instead of going through all the little details. I already put it on transfer paper, so that's why it looks funny. So with this, you're still going to have the white vinyl on your fabric. I am wondering how this looks on the shirt. So I decided to do this as well as try something else. So what I did with the other image is I cut it myself and I took off as much white as I could so that you could still see the detail, but you wouldn't have all that vinyl still on the shirt. So we're going to see which one works out better. And then the next thing that we're going to go over is transfer tape. Now, this is the transfer tape that I've been using for all my other projects. It is transfer tape for vinyl. This is not able to be used with heat. So this will not work. From my research, I found that if you use this, it's pretty much ruined. So what you have to do is you have to find transfer tape that's for heat. Now this stuff is used for printed heat transfer vinyl, which is what I did. I printed the image on the vinyl sheet in my printer. So this stuff will withstand the heat, and this is what you need to use. If you buy this, it's not going to work. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to go over is we need to go over a heat source. Now, Cricut wants you to buy their heat press, and it is, from my research, going to do the transfer to the fabric much easier, and it's supposed, I don't know, it looks nicer. I don't know. The problem is that they're expensive, and I didn't think that buying them was going to be any different from using just a normal iron. So I am going to be using a normal household iron. It should work. I've seen videos of people using an iron instead of a heat press. It's just you have to put it on the lowest setting that the iron has, because if it's too hot, it's going to scorch the fabric, and from what I understand, it's going to ruin the pattern as well. So with the iron, I use that a lot to iron out fabric for my quilts. And I use this mat. This mat is like a wool mat. It's very flexible. It is designed to withstand the heat like an ironing board. I don't have room for an ironing board, so this is what I use, and it is able to be transported. It's able to fit in smaller spaces. So this is what I use. I have worn all 6 shirts, and 3 of the shirts that I bought were from Amazon. They're like name brand Amazon basic shirts. And the other 3 I bought at Michael's. The 3 that I bought from Michael's are less comfortable. They're also more see-through. They're cheaper. Obviously, they were only like $6. The ones that I got off Amazon were like $8, but they're super comfortable. This shirt is actually one that I got from Amazon, and I am like severely happy with it. Like I said, it's very comfortable, very light. It's not as see-through as the Michaels ones, which, you know, I'm down with that more. But, you know, my Pokemon shirt, which was the one that I was most excited about, once I wore it, the image seemed way too small. I think that because I can only print on my printer for a certain size, it didn't work out well. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and remake that, and I'm going to try and remove the background completely and just have it cut out the Pokemon, which, you know, it could be bad. I mean, it could not work out because if there's any small details, it's going to be lost. But I still want to try because that is definitely a shirt that I really want to wear. The white shirts are not as exciting. The one that I cut out myself, I actually put on one of the nicer Amazon shirts, and I am not happy with that shirt at all. The whole cutout thing was weird. It did not turn out as well as I thought it would. So, you know, that is my least favorite one. I am okay with the one that has the bigger rectangle, you know, pattern. it seems a little excessive, and it's on one of the cheaper on the cheaper Michaels shirts. So the fabric just doesn't feel right. It's way too see-through. I feel that it's also, the paper was way too bright for the Michaels shirt, which seemed a little less white, I guess. So, you know, it is what it is. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer shirt, I like that one. It's nice. It's on the nicer Amazon shirts, so it's a lot more comfortable. It breathes a lot better. And I think it looks great with just the way it is, the background and the image on the back. So, all in all, it was a great learning experience. I mean, I enjoyed it. I will do it again. I might find a different material that I would want to wear most. I am very concerned about washing them. You know, they come with washing instructions, and, you know, some of the reviews I've read says, oh, they last so long. And then there are some that say, oh my God, I washed it once and it came out and there was nothing there. So, I mean, I can understand both sides of that. You know, it's printed from a printer, which, you know, if you get a piece of paper wet that you printed, it bleeds. It starts to, you know, not look great. So I don't know if the fact that it's on a vinyl material and then ironed on, if that's going to hold the ink. So we'll have to see. I will let you guys know after I wash them what happens to them, just so if you do want to do this project, you at least know what to expect. But I'll also show you me the redesigned shirts that I make to see if they look better. I'm honestly thinking that they will. I'm also going to buy the nicer shirts. I'm willing to spend $2 more to get shirts that are this comfortable. So that's kind of my feedback on this whole situation. I mean, I'm happy with the experience that I just learned. I mean, I've never made a shirt before, so I mean, I think that's great. But, you know, when you try something new, it's not, you can't expect it all to work out. There's going to be things that don't work out, and there's going to be mistakes, and, you know, it is what it is. You just gotta keep trying. So I'm gonna try again, and I will let you guys know if I find something that works better. But that's all that I have for this week. You know, we made the 6 shirts. It happened. So I will see you guys next Sunday. Okay?